You're now tuned in to the latest, the newest, hottest show on YouTube. I got a story to tell. Hosted by your boy, OG Sonny Blanco. Fire interviews, worldly topics, and much more. Stay tuned. OG Sonny Blanco. I got a story to tell. You heard?
One thing about them. Biggie. All right. One thing about the JM, Junior Mafia is Junior Mafia. They came down, they burnt it down, they did what they did. But that shit was all Biggie, bro. That kid was talented as a motherfucker, man. Think about it. He wrote Ready to Die in his head. He wrote Life After Death, the double CD, in his head. He wrote Little Kim's album in his head. Like, I don't think he get enough props as a fucking writer. That kid was very fucking talented. Real talk. Yeah, big.
Good people. What's rocking? You now tuned in. OG Sonny Blanco, I got a story to tell you, heard? Pardon self real quick. Alright, shout out my G Fuquan, right? The OG Fuquan. Y'all saw the clip, right? Shout out my G, right? When I asked my G, could I do, you know what I mean? Get a little clip of that I had typed in the chat. He was in a live chat. We was on his show, and he had brought the topic up, right? And I was like, yo, Fuquan, my G, you mind if I make a little clip of this right here? Please, sir. I don't know, I think that word clip, you know what I mean? Kind of caught my G. My G was like, yo, hold the fuck on, Sonny. Fuck you talking about clipping and all that. like, let me find out you on some bullshit and all that. Nah, homie. Salute to the big homie and all that. Salute to Fuquan and all that. But we was on his live and all that, right? And the topic of Christopher Wallace, Sir Christopher Wallace, came up, right? Biggie Smalls and all of that, Notorious Big, right? And you saw his take on it, right? All right, so let me give you my take on that, right? Because that's a topic right there that's near and dear to anybody 40 or better, I'm going to say, right? That was into hip-hop all crazy, right? And the lyrics and bars and, you know what I mean, punchlines and all that all crazy, right? That was the era for that right there, right? My opinion, and not being biased, right? If y'all hear the little popping in the background, I'm on the balcony and all that, in the backyard and all that. That's the little thing, catch the mosquitoes and flies. You know, your boy ain't trying to get all bit up and all that, right? No freaky. But anyway, in my opinion, I honestly think Christopher Wallace, Biggie Smalls, was the best to ever do it. Now, you catch a lot of flack for that, right? Because people say that's the Tupac era and all that good shit, right? In my humble opinion, Tupac was a great. He was one of the greats. What made Tupac so great and so spectacular, right? He was in the era where vocabulary was big. You know what I mean? Rhyme schemes, you know what I mean, was big. You know what I mean? Punchlines, as I said earlier, was big. Pac was a basic rhymer. He didn't do none of that, right? He spoke everyday language to his bare minimum. That's why he was able to reach everybody. He was able to reach the West Coast heavy, the East Coast heavy, Midwest, down South. You know what I mean? He was able to reach all of that because he spoke in the most basic vocabulary, but he made it so real and so official and all of that, right? But yo, listen, and like I said before, that was the era in the 90s, you know what I mean? Pac was the only one doing that. That's what made him great. And he was ill with his shit. Can't take nothing from him. But back to Biggie, right? This is about Biggie, right? Biggie was the greatest. You know why people say, "Hey, Sonny, I give you that. Nigga was nice and all that." He one of the first to say he ain't even write shit down. It was all off the dome, off the top of the head. No freaky, right? One of the first to say that. He was the inspiration for Hove to put the pen down. And everybody else who put the pen down after Hove, Biggie's the inspiration, right? When people say he had a short career, he ain't lived long enough, it's always the what if. The what if factor with Biggie, right? Alright, so let's talk about it. Ready to Die, the first joint. The skits alone, this was the era doing skits, right? The skits alone took you back. It gave you that feeling, you know what I mean? When you heard him on the train and all that, right? It gave you that feeling. When you heard the birth and Mondukes back in the 70s and all of that with Pops, it gave you that feeling, right? The skits alone. But the whole joint was fire. I think he had, what, one feature? Method Man, the only feature on the joint, right? Aight, bang, fire. Then you go Life After Death, right? Double joint. You know what I mean? So some people say 2 joints Biggie got, some people say 3. Because they give the Life After Death, double joint, we gonna call that 3. Only 3 joints, sonny. Short career. Now how you gonna say he the best? Alright, let's talk about it. First, again, as I said, nigga wasn't writing nothing. He wasn't writing nothing. All off the top, right? That's number 1. And he wasn't writing no off the wall shit, you know what I mean? Everything fit, you know what I mean? That's number 1. Number 2, he changed the game. That's a fact. The only one to be rhyming as slow as Chris did was probably Rakim. You know what I mean? They looked at Rakim funny when he did it, right? But he changed the game. Not only that, his swag was immaculate. He made big dudes look fly. Big dudes was ready to step out with their best on and all of that, right? Aight, bang. But the 3 joints, alright, so let's go to it. We forgetting, like Fruit said earlier, right? We forgetting Little Kim, that whole joint, that's Biggie. You got a man writing for a female in a female's perspective. You got a lot of dudes that write for women. Jay-Z, when he wrote the joint for Foxy, right? But you could tell listening to that was Jay-Z all day, and he wasn't really writing from a female perspective. It was like a rhyme that he had that he just flipped some of the words to fit her. You know what I mean? Even with the Emil, well, nah, Emil said she was writing her own shit, so pardon self, right? But you could tell when certain people are ghostwriting, you could tell who wrote that. When Kim stepped out, you couldn't tell that was Biggie writing that, right? It sounded like she was really getting it in because it fit her character. He's writing for a female in a female perspective to fit the character that he gave her. That's ill. Not too many could do that. As I said, you got a lot of ghostwriters, right? But when you hear ghostwrite like Nas is ill, one of the illest, right? Top 3, top 4. You know what I mean? Dead or alive, right? But when Nas was writing for Dre, you could tell Nas wrote that. When Nas wrote the joint for Will Smith, you could tell Nas wrote that. Like Biggie was one of the few that could write for somebody, you couldn't even tell that was Son. That's a fact, right? Alright, so all the Kim joints, anything before he passed away, the whole Kim, I mean, that's all him, right? Alright then, let's not forget C's. From a YG's perspective, you got a G in the streets, you know what I mean? He wasn't the OG yet, he was a G, you know what I mean? But he was rhyming for a YG in a YG's perspective. That's ill. That's ill when you can bust characters down like that and make everything fit the character perfectly. Alright, let's go to Diddy. He was writing Diddy. If Mace run right now, you could tell again. The joints that Mace wrote for Diddy when they was doing the little dancing, the Harlem shaking, all that good shit, right? The joints that Mace was writing for Diddy when they was all in a video together and shit, you could tell Mace wrote that. The joints Biggie wrote, niggas knew like, ah shit, Biggie wrote that, but you couldn't tell it was a Biggie flow. Nah, it was a Puffy flow, cause Biggie wrote that for the fit Diddy. You know what I mean? That takes wits, that takes intelligence. As I said, break it down. A lot of ghostwriters out here. But sometimes when you hear the bars that they spit from the ghostwriter, you could tell, oh, that's such and such bars. Oh, that's Style P bars right there. Oh, that's Nas bars. Oh, that's Hove bars right there. You could tell. Chris was one of the few you couldn't tell, right? Alright, now let's say Junior Mafia. Again, that's all Biggie. So let's count it. So we said 3 for him. Now we give him the Kim joint. He wrote that joint, so let's say 4. You know what I mean? Junior Mafia, boom, let's say 5. Anything Diddy did, he got about 6 or 7 joints under his belt, if you really think about it. Right? If you really think about it, he got about 6 or 7 joints up under his belt, right? How many changed the game like him? You know what I mean? Like Hov said on his joint with Pusha T, Hov is gonna always be Hov. You know what I mean? If Big was alive, y'all would have got the commission. You understand? But Hov is gonna always be Hov. But Biggie was the inspiration for Hov to put down that pen and start making it come off the top, right? Hey, so in my humble opinion, not taking nothing away from Pac. Again, Pac was the greatest because he spoke to everybody, no matter where you... Remember, this is the era where if you passed the Mason-Dixon line, you could tell where you was at just by hearing the radio. It wasn't like today, but everything sounded the same. If you pass that Mason-Dixon line and you come in Maryland, Virginia and all that, you go know when you start hearing Outkast. You know what I mean? When you start hearing Pastor Troy, you know what I mean? When you start hearing 8 Ball and MJG, you go know when you pass that Mason-Dixon line. You was out west, you was go know you was out west. You know what I mean? With the G.O.A.T and all that, Snoop and all that, Dre and all that, Cube and all that, right? When you was in the Midwest, you knew you was in the Midwest with Nelly and the St. Lunatics and all that. This, that era. You was in the Chi, you knew you was in Chi. You know what I mean? What's Do or Die? You know what I mean? Twister and all them niggas, right? Right? Common and all them niggas, right? When you was past that Mason-Dixon line and you hit Baltimore, Maryland, Philly, Jersey, all that, you knew you was in the Mecca of hip-hop. You hit New York, you heard it on the radio. This was that era. That's what made Pac special, because Pac spoke to everybody. If you wasn't guard body, or if you wasn't the East Coast dude or whatever, or you was into that, you didn't really understand Wu-Tang. They might have been over a few people's heads. No freaky, right? You might not have understood that. Pac made sure you understood him. So that's why he wanted the greatest to do it. But, again, it's my humble opinion. Take it for what it is. You know what I mean? Something to think about. My humble opinion, Biggie was the greatest of all time. Changed the game. That's a fact, right? Mad ghostwriting. And everything he ghost wrote was a hit. Everything he was featured on, Total, Mary J. Blige, whatever, it was a hit, right? Give credit where credit is due, man. R.I.P. R.I.P. to the notorious one. You heard? Brooklyn, stand up. Hey, yo, Fuquan, go looking for the clip. Matter of fact, shout out Fuquan. Me and the guard supposed to be doing some work coming up here soon. You know what I mean? We gonna make that happen. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a good look, right? Shout out El Famous. Shout out everybody over there on the GOAT's channel. The GOAT. If you don't know who the GOAT is, that's St. Last. With this storytelling shit, the Brooklyn Legacies, you know what I mean? The LG stories, you know what I mean? Like Rikers Island stories, like Son the GOAT, you know what I mean? His stories is fire, and then when he pull other people on, he not pulling no bullshit dudes up, you know what I mean? They all fire stories. So shout out to everybody over there shining on that channel. El Famous, Saquon, R.I.P. Murder, Puerto Rican Mikey and all of that, right? Everybody, Shadow, John Rambo, everybody over there shining. Fuquan, again, good looking for the clip, homie. Shout it out. You already know. El Compa, Wax AP and the El Compa Show, the Nile River. Good looking on them 1,000 subscribers. Keep working, homie. We only go do nothing but get bigger and better. No freaky. You heard? Smitty Brim, shout it out. Stone to the brim every day, all day. You heard? You listen. Good looking. Good work you doing over there, Smitty. That's good work. We locked in. Good work over there. You heard? You know what I mean? You already know the shoutouts. Jamil Saladin, Mac Mean. Oh my God, the shit is bugging. They must have got a big joint. You know, we down south, nigga. The mosquitoes out here is crazy. This shit is monsters, B. But yo, Mac Mean, Jamil Saladin, you already know. Sheep Stay Sleep TV, DS1 Ross. Shout it out. You already. You heard? Yonkers. You already know. Lost in Yonkers. DJ, my G. Shout it out. Let's put that work in, good people. You already know. Everybody, you see the numbers is coming up. The watch time hours is coming up and all that good shit. I appreciate you all, good people. That's a fact. I appreciate you all. We go keep working. And we go start making that work more often too. You know what I mean? I've been in the cut. You already know the issues. We ain't got to talk about it. You already know what's been going on with your boy, right? But we about to put that work in. You heard? Thinking about jumping out doing my first live this weekend. I don't know. You know what I mean? I got 2 things lined up. Well, I got 1 thing lined up this weekend. Hopefully, inshallah, that's gonna come through and all that. No freaky, right? But then if that don't pop out, we go do something else. You know what I mean? I'm gonna holler at my people so they give me some help and all that. Thinking about doing my first live and all that, right? But I gotta get the StreamYard shit and all that down to a science. So I'm gonna holler at a few people in the background and make sure we do everything like we supposed to be doing everything. You heard? Hey yo, Black to the P, shout it out. Cuba, shout it out. God the Brand, shout it out. New Jersey J, shout it out. You heard? Everybody, right? Born, shout it out. Mecca, shout it out. Right? Modesty, right? Moon Talk, shout it out. Nari, shout it out. Everybody, love is love, you heard? Salute. Rock with your boy. Hit the subscribe. Touch up the little notification bell up in the corner. Smash the like and all that. But most importantly, tell a friend to tell a friend, come rock with Blocko. You heard? Good people. Any day above ground is a beautiful day. You heard? Easy.
You're now tuned in to the latest, the newest, hottest show on YouTube. I got a story to tell. Hosted by your boy, OG Son Blocko. Fire interviews, worldly topics, and much more. Stay tuned. OG Sonny Blocko. I got a story to tell. You heard?